Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Friday and welcome back to another weekly beauty chit chat. If you are new to my channel, this video goes up most Fridays and it's just an opportunity for me to sit down and chit chat about all of the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was personally loving or obsessing about over the course of the past week. As always, I have a fun little lineup of things to share. I will list and link all of these products in the description box down below. If you'd like to know where to purchase these items, read up other people's reviews, or look at in-depth ingredient information, check that description box out. It's always a plethora of information. Before we get into this week's faves, I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have some fun plans for the weekend. Be sure to let me know what you were loving or obsessing about in the comments below the video here. I love reading your guys' comments about what you're currently using because honestly, I find a lot of ideas for myself that way. So thank you for sharing in advance. All right, let's get into it, guys. We're just gonna dive right in. I have like a few key things to talk about here. There's not a ton of stuff this week, but some good things for sure. So I'm gonna get started with my perfume picks for this past week. I did review a new fragrance towards the beginning of the week, but I also was using an old favorite, if you will, although this isn't really that old. I think I've had this fragrance now for just about a year. I love it. But let's talk about the new scent first. So this is the 7 Virtues Santal Vanille. This is the newest fragrance to my 7 Virtues collection. I love this perfume brand. We all know that my favorite is the Vanilla Woods. But you know what I like about this particular one is that this is, I think this is great on its own, especially if you like a more, I would say, woody, incensey type of vibe from a fragrance. This is not sweet. This is not particularly feminine, I would say. It's a little bit more of a unisex type fragrance, but this is very different from the other 7 Virtues fragrances that I've typically gravitated towards in the past. This one is going to be fabulous for the cooler weather months that we are thankfully finally approaching. We're in August, people. Have you realized this? It always takes me a couple days to like remember that we're in a new month, but I knew it was turning August right away because I am just dying for this summer to be over. It's way too hot for this girl, let me tell you. But I'm really excited for the colder weather months with this particular fragrance because I think this is actually going to be one that will be great for like changing up other fragrances. So I have been doing this for a lot of years where I take different perfumes and I mix them together to create something different, something new. It kind of helps me in terms of like if I'm craving a new perfume, but I don't maybe have the funds for it, or I just don't want to add anything else into my collection at that time. I will take 2 different perfumes, sometimes even 3, and I will blend them together just by, you know, spraying on my arm and just kind of mixing things up a little bit. And it just gives me a new perfume in a lot of different cases, and that's great because 1, I'm saving money, and 2, I'm not adding more clutter to the collection. This one has these really kind of smoky, almost incense type vibes that I think are going to be fabulous for warming up a lot of my fall fragrances even more, adding a little bit more depth to a lot of those perfumes. So I'm really excited about having this travel size in my collection. I think this is going to be the perfect amount for me in terms of what I will need for, you know, fall through winter. I imagine that I will finish this, you know, this fall and winter just by mixing it. On its own, I will say, if you like those deeper, almost, this gives me some borderline almost hearth type vibes as well. Like there's a little bit of a smokiness to it. It's really pretty. The vanilla is not very sweet, but there's definitely like an unsweetened vanilla in here. It's a really interesting fragrance. If you are looking for something new as we head into fall, I think this is one worth checking out. For me, I think I'm going to use it a little bit more in terms of mixing with other fragrances, but on its own, I think it's lovely as well. Now, the other pick from this week is polar opposite. This is very sweet, very feminine, very, I think this is kind of like a younger fragrance as well. I will say this, the Santal Vanille is a little bit more mature, maybe, if you will. But this is very young, just very sweet and fun and vibrant. What is it? Oh, it's Clean Reserve Sparkling Sugar. By the way, I am almost halfway through my big bottle here. Is this 3.3 ounces? 3.4 fluid ounces. I have reached for this quite a bit this summer already. I love this particular fragrance. If you are looking for some straight up almost cotton candy type vibes, Sparkling Sugar will give that to you. So I love it. It's not going to be for everybody. If you don't like very sweet fragrances that could be considered probably borderline cloying by some, I would avoid this one. But I just went for the big one. Normally I've been getting these travel sizes, but with this, I just knew it spoke to me. So we just got the big one, but I'm trying not to be this person. I'm trying really hard to not buy full-size fragrances at this point in time, but it's really hard not to. All right, next, let's move into some body care. I have 2 picks from this past week. So this is the Kopari Coconut Hydrating Body Wash. Last week, I showed you guys the absolutely massive, like, was it 64 ounces? I think it's 64 ounces of body wash from Philosophy that I purchased from QVC. This was a Christmas in July type special that they had, and it was in their Christmas cookie scent, which I think is actually very similar to their birthday cake fragrance. Anyway, so delicious, so yummy. Loved that this week as well. But I actually took this to the beach with me. We did a little bit of a beach escape towards the earlier part of this week. Our friends own this really great beach house that doesn't get used nearly enough. Like, they're trying to get there as much as they can, but our friend is a dentist, so he gets pretty busy sometimes. So he has offered this house to us like multiple times, and we finally decided to take him up on it, and it was just always so lovely, you guys. The Oregon coast is so much cooler than Portland. I really need to figure out a way to be at the beach much more frequently during the summer months. We're working on that. We'll see. We'll see how far we get in the process. But anyway, I took this with me when we went to the beach. So this is, you guys, first of all, the fragrance is, it's so yummy. It's a very light, nutty, but perfectly sweet coconut. I love the scent. I love the scent. But listen, the performance in terms of this like being just a really great body wash is there as well. I think this is actually one of those hydrating body washes, but it lathers up beautifully. It creates a lot of really nice foam when I'm shaving my legs. I don't know. I love this. Also, I bought this in a trio. It's a Kopari trio of body washes that has the coconut, the Tahitian vanilla, and the guava. All 3 are amazing. They're full sizes. It's a screaming deal. I will link that down below because honestly, that trio is just about the same price as one of these is regularly. So it's a great deal. Highly recommend checking that out, and you will have enough body wash for many months, which I think is always a good thing. All right, this. I am relying on this pretty heavily right now to help me with the discoloration on my legs because you guys, my hormonal itchy skin, it's driving me nuts, and it's mostly on my legs right now that I have just the itchiest sensations, especially at night. I don't know what it is, but there are times where I wake up in the morning and I look at like underneath my fingernails and I see like blood, and I just am like, oh no, what did I do? Like at night in my sleep, I just scratch my legs to the point where I have scabs on my legs. It is awful. I have started taking Claritin at night just in the hopes that it helps to calm that itch that I'm experiencing, but it's not an itch from like allergies, so I don't know if the Claritin is really doing anything for that. I don't know, it's driving me nuts. Anyway, moral of the story is I have all these like scabs on my legs, all of this hyperpigmentation and discoloring. So I'm using this to kind of try to clean things up as the scabs heal. What is this? It's the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow Body Wash. This is their 12% AHA BHA resurfacing serum. This has honey and prickly pear. This is actually quite soothing to the skin on my legs, and I do think because it helps with that surface cell turnover, over time it's going to help to lighten those you know, hyperpigmentation spots. I think it's going to take a little while. It probably won't be before, you know, the summer here is over, and you know, we'll probably be back to wearing pants by then. But yeah, it's been really, really bad, and this is one of the few products that I found that really does do a good job of lightening everything up. I will say the fragrance, it has kind of a strong honey scent to it. If you are at all averse to any type of fragrance in your body care, you might not want to try this one, but I have found this to be a really great product. It's also wonderful to put on your feet. It helps with the exfoliation of your feet. I love to use this on my elbows, my knees, anywhere that I have really dry skin that needs gentle exfoliation. This gets the job done, and it's fabulous. So if you're in the market for something like this, another one that is worth checking out is the Alpha. I get that one off of Amazon. I will link that one down below. It's the Alpha. I think it's also like a 12% AHA body lotion. I don't, or glycolic. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it is equally as lovely as this. So I'll link both down below so you have an option. But this right here is what I'm using right now, and it's working. It's working well. And it's not irritating like the scabs or anything like that. It doesn't sting my legs. Definitely don't use it right after shaving. Don't do that. You might feel a little bit of stinging from that AHA, but you know, the following day, put it on. It's fabulous. Good stuff. All right. I really love this. I just love this for adding a little bit of texture and volume to my hair after I'm done styling it. Not that I really style my hair. I basically blow dry it upside down, and then I flip my hair over, and I just kind of, you know, like part it wherever it wants to naturally part, and wherever she falls, that's the do for the day. So what I've been doing is taking this Pacifica Big Waves Soft Hold and Volume Hairspray. This smells like $1 million, but let's not talk about the fragrance first. Let's talk about what this does. So I basically just spray this throughout my hair, and I just use it to add a little bit more texture and oomph, a little bit more body to my hair. And what's great is it leaves my hair touchable still. Like it doesn't feel, you know, like all stiff and dry or anything like that. Like I can still run my fingers through my hair pretty easily here. But yeah, it adds just a little something to where it just gives my hair more oomph. And as someone with fine, thin strands of hair, I will take any oomph that I can get. This provides it without leaving my hair feeling gross. So it's good stuff. You can find Pacifica products at Ulta as well as Target. So they're readily available, and all the products smell amazing, but this particular one is great, especially for summertime. All right, let's do the makeup picks from this week, and then I have a couple of mentions for skincare as well. All right. I'm still doing my fun little, I don't know why I was like, oh, I feel really bored with my makeup, but I don't want to buy new makeup, but I need to feel like I'm challenging myself somehow. So what I've been doing is I have an Alex 9 drawer where all of my makeup is housed. And I have a blush drawer, I have an eyeshadow drawer, I have a lipstick drawer, and I just open each of those drawers, and I literally close my eyes and I kind of run my hands over the products, and then I just stop at a random point. Whatever my hand is on at that moment is what I pluck out, and that is either my blush, my lipstick, or my eyeshadow palette for the week. I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, and it's been a great challenge trying to figure out how to put these things together, because sometimes they're not necessarily all from the same like color family, but I feel like I've done pretty good at making these work. So this is what I kind of plucked out for this week. My lip product was this. I'm wearing it right now, so you can see it on my lips. This is the Hourglass I think these are called the Girl Lip Stylos. Oh, don't quote me on that. I wonder if these are even still being made. I don't ever hear anyone mentioning these, but I really like these. This is the shade Futurist, which is a gorgeous kind of rosy, I would say brown, little hint of mauve in there for sure. Again, it's what I have on my lips right now. First of all, the texture, great. The coverage, fantastic. Very, very opaque, comfortable. Kind of a satin finish, I would say. Stays put for a good chunk of the day. Like, these do not fade. I realize these are not the latest and greatest. These have been out for a very long time, but I still like them. I have two in my collection. I don't remember what the other one is called. I think it's actually just called like number 3 or something. It's from a different lip stylo line, but yeah, they're great. So anyway, love this color, and I feel like it's been kind of a good neutral to go with these other neutral things that I managed to pluck out. So I feel like I just used this not long ago. I kind of almost put it back and then picked something else, but I decided to just go with it. This is the Lawless Make Me Blush Velvet Blush in the shade Vintage Love, and this is just a beautiful, again, rosy pink. Okay, why? Oh, geez, Louise. Sorry. Okay, there we go. That worked. We're focusing. It's not a pretty color. So this is what I have on my cheeks today. Again, kind of a great neutral. I think it's working so far with everything that we have. And then the eyeshadow palette. How old is this thing? It's pretty old, honestly. I do disinfect all of my makeup products at least once a year, so I feel a lot more comfortable using things way past their expiration date. So anyway, it works for me to do that, but I'm not advocating that other people should. Don't overbuy makeup is, I think, my #1 recommendation. Don't do what I did between like 2010 and 20, I would say 2020. I was still buying a lot of makeup even back then. It was too much. So I learned a lesson. I really did. But anyway, this was actually one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes back in the day. It's the Urban Decay Naked 2. Urban Decay 2 Basics. There we go. Naked 2 Basics. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it's this one here. Ugh, great neutrals, right? I love all of these. So this is what I have on my eyes today. Just another great neutral palette. I have a lot of these neutral palettes. They're so easy to work with. I probably don't need quite as many as I do have, but like I said, I certainly get some good use out of them. Today I have a mix of Cover and Primal in my crease. I just mixed these two shades together. And then I have Stark. Yeah, Stark. Just on the inner corner, just a little tiny bit. So I do have Undone as my liner today as well. So everything on my eyes came from this palette. I love it. I'm gonna actually continue this particular palette into next week just because it was so easy to use this week. So yeah, I really love this one. It's a good one. If you still have it, bust it out. Sorry about that little interruption there. Let's continue on with the last two items. They're both skincare. So let's start with the Dermatology HPR eye cream. This is a retinate eye cream that I've been using from Dermatology for several months now. I think I'm actually finally almost done with my first bottle, and full disclosure on this one, I am a Dermatology partner, so they did send me this bottle to test out and basically share my thoughts with you guys, but I've fallen in love with it. So I'll be repurchasing this one on my own here in the coming weeks for sure. This is a very, very gentle retinate eye cream. I've been using this every single evening since receiving it. I don't use it twice a day, just once and only in the evening for me personally. I've been using a more hydrating, moisturizing eye cream in the morning, and that was the winning combination for me. I am so pleased with how my under eye area looks right now, you guys. I don't have a ton of wrinkles or fine lines that have set in quite yet. I think thanks to, one, my skincare routine, but also the fact that I have oily skin does, I think, cause my skin just in general to age just a little bit slower. All that being said, I do think the skincare that I use makes a big difference as well. But I've been really pleased with how like even toned my under eye area looks, if that makes sense. It never looks crepey or dry, and I just really, I don't know, I just love the way that area looks. I have dealt with a little bit of texture in terms of milia in the past, or just kind of a rougher texture underneath that eye area, because honestly, while the vast majority of my face is not sensitive at all, I do have kind of a sensitive eye area, so I have to be careful with how far I bring products up underneath the eye area. We all know that you have to be careful with that in general when it comes to skincare. Many skincare products contain warnings, do not use around the eye area. But this one here is a wonderful, very gentle exfoliant that it just works like a dream. This is a fabulous product, and I will say this half-ounce container here has lasted me months. This is a fabulous product. I just use one pump and I apply it to my ring finger and I just tap underneath both eyes. I bring it around like the whole orbital bone area here. It's great. I've gotten no irritation from this. Like, it hasn't irritated my eyes, and it helps with that surface cell turnover in a way that is just super gentle but very, very effective. If you've been on the fence about this, I've had a really great experience with it. There is coconut in here, so keep that in mind. If your skin tends to get clogged with coconut oil containing products, keep that in mind. But I've had zero issues with milia, so I think the fact that it helps with that turnover is going to prevent that in the first place. But yeah, fabulous, love it, will repurchase. And the last thing, I'm not gonna say too much about this because I've only had this open for the last couple of weeks. This is the Arcona Peptide Hydrating Complex. Even though I have oily skin, I hydrate the heck out of it. It's just what works best for me. And this particular product I've actually had in my skincare backup stash. I think I bought this maybe a year or more ago. Kind of forgot about it, which is terrible. I know you don't need to tell me. I have way too much skincare, I'm well aware. But I finally got around to using this. First of all, the texture is lovely. It has a really nice lightweight lotion type texture. But oh, you guys, it absorbs very, very quickly into the skin. And it immediately just hydrates, soothes. I feel like this is kind of a nice like barrier cream type product in a way. It really does protect my skin. I will say, Arcona does use fragrance in their products. So if you're like a fragrance phobe, and I understand why a lot of people don't like fragrance in their skincare. I completely understand why. I don't have sensitive skin. And so for me, I feel like I can pretty much put anything on my face for the most part and not react to it. But I think that fragrance in skincare for me just kind of adds to the joy of using it. But again, if you cannot use fragrance or you just don't like it, I would avoid the whole Arcona line in general. I think it's just going to irritate your skin. But for me, so far so good on this one. I will do a more in-depth review of this when I do another skincare updates video. So yeah, I want to give it a little bit more time, but so far so good. Certainly hasn't caused any breakouts. And again, it helps to plump up my skin. I love that it contains peptides. They are wonderful in terms of, again, slowing that aging process down, and I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, for what it's worth, I'm having a good experience so far. We'll discuss as I get further into using that. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here today. I really, really appreciate you. If you're new, I would love it if you would take the time to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Don't forget to check out the description box below for all the links, and let me know what you are loving over the course of the past week. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.